All right, guys. What's up? We're back. And we're going to be doing week 4, question 4 on the CSM worksheet. And the question is secret sharing. So the premise of this problem is that there are a group of 23 voting officials and they want to pass a law. All the officials need to vote in favor for the law to be passed. So we need a unanimous vote. And to make voting fair, they need an anonymous secret sharing scheme such that other members of the group cannot see what an official voted for. And there will be a third party who picks a degree D polynomial in Galois field 23 such that they're going to give each official a point and they'll confirm if the guessed polynomial is correct or not. So let's start with A. What should degree D be for this scheme and why? So the things we know is that for the law to pass, we need all 23 officials to vote yes, which means unanimous vote. And so that would mean that, like, in the context of polynomials, that each of the 23 points are going to uniquely define a polynomial. And we know that if there are like n many points uniquely defines an n minus 1 degree polynomial, or you can think of it like a d degree polynomial is uniquely defined by d plus 1 points. So we know that degree d will be 22. All right, moving on to B. If official I wants to vote in favor for the law, what must they do? And what if they want to vote against the law? So if official I wants to vote in favor for the law, they want their points to be one of the unique points to get polynomial p of x. So what they should do is they should send in point I, comma, p of I, because that's going to be the point needed to uniquely construct this degree 22 polynomial. And if they don't want to vote, and if they don't want to vote for the law, they want to vote against the law, they should send in they want to vote against the law. They want to send in a point such that whatever whatever they send in, let's call it P of Z or P of Z, they don't want it to be um, congruent to P of I mod 23, because as long as you just send if you know what P of I is, as long as you don't send P of I when all the 23 points are used, they're not going to construct that unique polynomial. So what they should do, or I shouldn't really say PC, it's just some arbitrary like Z is like a better term, because it wouldn't be like a function of the polynomial, it'd just be some arbitrary point or some arbitrary like y value that is not congruent to P of I mod 23. So they should send in a point I, which would correspond to like their member number, I guess, and then the answer sheet has like Q. So just for the sake of being consistent with the answer sheet, say Q, where where Q is not congruent to P of I mod 23. And as we explained, it's because this one point makes it impossible to reconstruct P. Strictly need P of I mod 23 to construct P. And this kind of leads into question C. Explain why P of X can only be recovered with the unanimous vote and cannot be recovered otherwise. And kind of what we were talking about in B, all 23 points, all 23 points need to be correct because um, a degree 22 polynomial is, or a unique degree 22 polynomial in, yeah, just in general, a unique degree 22 polynomial is defined by 23 distinct points. In this scenario, the whether the polynomial, which will be like whether they voted yes or not, is uniquely defined by 23 votes. And so, yeah, anyone who votes against the law, like kind of what we discussed in B, if they vote against it and give some point that's not in P of I mod 23, they just give any other point that is not that would not evaluate to what P of I mod 23 would be. They choose one of the other 22 possibilities that you're gonna not be able to reconstruct polynomial P for reasons discussed above and just now. And so now let's go into D. Explain why this scheme is anonymous. So the scheme is anonymous because our third party is gonna determine if the polynomial is correct. They're the ones who validate. We know that, and each each what are they officials? Each official sends it a vote. And they know I comma P of I. So all our each individual official will send in the vote knowing what they should send if they want to vote yes, or they just send anything else to vote no, any other P of I value. Just, yeah, 22 other possibilities, just, yeah, good exercise. And we know that the third party just verifies. But doesn't know the polynomial. So if all they can do is guess, and then if they guess that it's wrong, there's no way to know. No way to know which points were not in favor of it. So there's no way to know who voted no. They can pretty much only tell if pretty much like only if their guess is only if they vote yes. Only if everyone votes yes, then the guess polynomial, one of the guess polynomials will eventually be correct. But if anybody votes no, then the guess polynomial would not be correct, and there's no way to know who were the officials who voted no. And with that, that concludes question 4, secret sharing, the week 4 CSM sheet. And yeah, see you guys next week.